So guys, I got a few videos sent in.
We've got a few of them, so we'll go through them one by one.
So let's start with the first one.
Hello, my name is Jordan and this is Luton. We want to know how fast the racing car goes.
How fast the racing car goes? It depends a bit on the track, but I think the highest top speed we achieve now is like 360 kilometers an hour. But that's not the most impressive thing about a Formula 1 car. The acceleration, like from 0 to 200, for example, I think that is more impressive than the actual top speed we have.
Hi Alex. We often hear about how drivers prepare themselves physically for a race weekend, but what I want to know is, how do you prepare yourself mentally, and does a previous result at that track or even a previous result from the week before often affect how you approach each race mentally? Thank you. Stay safe.
Yeah, good question. I would say preparing mentally, it's more about consistency for me. I think every driver is different, but the mental side is, of course, just as important, if not more, than the physical side. So it's important for me at least to have a routine. Just in my head, it's almost like a checklist that I go through every weekend. It can be, just procedural or just things that I know I want to focus on. If there's an area from the weekend before that you weren't quite happy with, that you want to improve, that will be a main agenda for the next weekend, and you'll focus on that side of it. We do a lot of things under stress, so training, doing mental exercises like games and things like that when we're after a cardio session or something like that.
Number 2.
Hey Max, I'm here at Silverstone representing the Orange Army, and my question for you is, if you could only race one track for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
First of all, great cap. I like the blue cap. Well, I think we are here at the moment. It's Spa. I could race here any day of the week. So yeah, I might just stay here, I think.
Hey there Alex, hope you're well. So question for me then is, we've seen all these new tracks get added to the 2020 calendar this year, and if you could add one more new circuit to the calendar, where would that be? Thanks very much.
As you said, yeah, we've got these new circuits now, Mugello, Imola, and Turkey. I think as tracks, also Portimao, Formula 1 have done a really good job in choosing the circuits. I don't know why, I don't know if it's coincidence or they've gone out to find these circuits, but I think it's great for the sport. And really, they're kind of the top tracks that you would take into consideration. If I could add one more to that, it's hard to say. I like Phillip Island, just the look of it, and obviously in Australia, you see it in MotoGP a lot, but that looks a cool track. I wouldn't mind doing something like that.
Hi Max, it's me Trip. I hope you win. What was your favorite car when you were a kid?
So, my favorite car when I was a kid, I always used to play with like a Dodge Viper back in the day. I don't know why, I love the car. Yeah, I kept just playing with it, but it's not my favorite car anymore, but yeah, when I was little and when I was at school, I was playing with that, yeah.
Hey Alex, hope you're doing good. What track do you find hardest to drive on the calendar, and why is that?
I'd say tracks with just that are technically hard. So I'm thinking of Hungary, even weirdly Mexico, because Mexico is very low downforce and the cars are sliding around a lot. And then street tracks, of course, Baku, Monaco, they're challenging. But I wouldn't say there's one that sticks out as being especially hard. They're all hard in their own ways, and obviously even tracks like Austria or Monza, even though they're so basic in terms of layout, that's what makes it so hard, because you're then fighting for half a tenth in a whole lap, and it's real fine tuning each corner.
Hi Max, how you doing? I got a question for you. What is the toughest crisis you've ever handled during race, and what solution did you came up with?
I mean, I can never call it a crisis, I think. But it's always like tire management or whatever, or if you had a bad first lap where you had to pit for repairs or whatever, that's never great. But I think the solution is always to never give up and always keep trying to still get a good result.
สวัสดีค่ะ I have a question for you. Can you give some motivations or advice to the young racer in Thailand to be F1 driver like you? ขอบคุณค่ะ
Hopkin Cup. I'm trying to think. It's tricky because, personally speaking, I grew up mainly racing in Europe, which just has an advantage because most of the racing is in Europe. It's where most of the drivers come from Formula One, and you want to race against the best to be the best. In Thailand, obviously, it's more difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. Firstly, go to your first racetrack. That's your local racetrack. That's the first one. You could do the national karting championship. That would be the first place I would go to. I think in the future, hopefully, there are better ways to do it. But right now, most of the racing, competitive racing, has to be done in Europe.
When we move into the new era of Formula One, do you think the new opportunities presented by this era will get you to beat Mercedes and win your first world championship and maybe many more?
This is a very serious question. Of course, I would hope so. Yeah, it's new for everyone, so new opportunities, like, of course, all the time when there are new regulations coming in. Of course, first of all, I want to try and finish off, what we have at the moment in the best way possible, and then, of course, I hope we can, with the new regulations coming in, we can build a really good car that we can fight for the championship. So I guess that was it. A few questions answered, and good questions as well. So very happy about that.
Peace.